Level 1. The Script Kiddie. You are sitting in a dark room lit only by a monitor you didn't pay for. The Wi-Fi you're using isn't yours either. You downloaded your first tool yesterday, a pre-built exploit kit packaged by someone smarter than you. You don't understand how it works. You don't need to. You point it at a target, a small business website, outdated plugins, weak passwords. You press enter. The screen fills with text you can't fully read, but recognize as success. Access granted. You didn't break in. You were let in by negligence and code written by someone else. You screenshot it. You send it to a Discord server. They react with fire emojis. For the first time, you feel it. Control without permission. That's enough to keep you going. Level 2. The Learner. You realize tools aren't enough. You start asking questions. What is a port? What is a payload? What actually happens when access is gained? You spend nights watching tutorials, forums, old blog posts. You install Linux, break it, reinstall it, break it again. You learn command line before you understand why it matters. You scan networks, not randomly anymore, intentionally. You start reading outputs instead of ignoring them. You understand what open means, what vulnerable means. You fail constantly. Scripts crash, targets don't respond. Nothing works the way it did in the videos. That's where most people stop. You don't, because now it's not about the result. It's about understanding the system behind it. Level 3. The Operator. You're no longer guessing. You build your own workflows. Reconnaissance first, enumeration, then exploitation. You don't rush. You map. Every system has structure. Every structure has weaknesses. You start finding them yourself. SQL injection, weak authentication, misconfigured servers. Not because a tool told you where to look, because you know where mistakes happen. You gain access. Persist quietly. You don't announce it anymore. No screenshots, no Discord. You stay inside systems for hours, watching traffic, understanding behavior. You realize something most beginners never do. The real power isn't getting in, it's staying unnoticed. Level 4. The Freelancer. People start paying for what you can do. Small jobs at first, recover accounts, bypass locks, test systems for vulnerabilities. You tell yourself it's ethical. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Money starts coming in, not much, but enough to change your perception. This isn't a hobby anymore. You're trading access for income. You build a reputation in private spaces. Handles instead of names. Encrypted chats. Clients who don't ask questions. You learn operational security, separate devices, VPN chains. No reuse of identities, because now there's something to lose. Level 5. The Intrusion Specialist. You stop thinking like a user. You think like a system. Every network is a puzzle. Every endpoint is an entry point. You learn privilege escalation, lateral movement. Getting in is trivial now. Getting root is the objective. You compromise one machine, then another. You move across networks like you belong there. You create persistence mechanisms, backdoors that survive reboots. You erase logs, not because you're paranoid, because it's standard. You begin targeting larger entities, corporations, institutions. The stakes increase. So does the reward, but so does the attention. Somewhere someone notices anomalies, unusual traffic, strange log entries. They don't know it's you yet. Level 6. The Ghost. You adapt. You stop leaving patterns. Every operation is different. Different tools, different infrastructure. You build your own exploits now. Not public, not shared. Private code that only you understand. You blend into normal traffic. Your activity looks like background noise. You operate through layers. Compromised machines, routing through other compromised machines. Nothing leads back to you directly. You don't just hack systems, you manipulate people. Phishing emails crafted with precision. Names, context, timing. You get credentials not by breaking systems, but by convincing someone to give them to you. This is where it changes. Technology is predictable. People aren't. You learn both. Level 7. The Criminal Network. You're not alone anymore. You join a group, not a forum, an operation. Each member has a role. Access brokers, developers, money launderers. You specialize. Intrusion and persistence. You get in, you stay in. Others handle the rest. Ransomware deployments, data exfiltration. Negotiations happen in encrypted channels you don't control. You see numbers you didn't think were real. 6 figures. 7. Paid in cryptocurrency, you take your cut. No contracts, no guarantees. Trust is built on reputation and fear. If you make mistakes, you're replaced. If you expose the group, you disappear. Not metaphorically. Level 8. The target, you're good. Too good to stay invisible forever. Law enforcement doesn't look for individuals first. They look for patterns, infrastructure overlaps, code similarities, behavioral signatures. You slip once. A reused server, a timing mistake. It's small, but it's enough. An analyst flags it. They don't know your name, but they know something exists. An operation, a presence. They start watching, not you directly. The edges, the people around you, the systems you touch. You feel it before you confirm it. Connections drop unexpectedly. Access disappears. Something is changing. Level 9. The asset you get approached. Not publicly, never publicly. A message through a channel you thought was secure, simple, direct. We know what you do. No threats, no demands, just information. Enough to prove they've been watching. They offer something different, protection, resources, purpose. Not money, more than money. You're given a choice. Continue alone and eventually get caught, or work for them, officially unofficial, deniable. You accept, not because you trust them, because you understand probabilities. Level 10, the operator. You don't pick targets anymore. Targets are assigned. Infrastructure you could never access before is now available. Zero-day exploits. Intelligence briefings. You're part of something larger. Nation-state level operations. Cyber warfare without declaration. You infiltrate foreign networks. Government systems. Critical infrastructure. Not for profit. For influence. For control. For information that never becomes public. You plant access points that may never be used. Or may be used years later. You don't ask, you execute. Your work shapes events you'll read about in headlines, but your role is never mentioned because it can't be. You are no longer a hacker. You are an instrument, a tool with autonomy but no visibility. And one day it ends. Not with an arrest, not with recognition, just silence. You disconnect, step away. No announcement, no closure. The systems you touched keep running. The access points remain dormant, waiting. Somewhere a kid is downloading his first exploit kit, pointing it at a weak system, pressing enter, watching text fill a screen he doesn't understand, feeling control for the first time. He doesn't know where